So here's something you don't see much on a gaming channel on YouTube. A side-by-side, a utility four-wheeler, an ATV, a UTV, whatever you want to call it. Doing a little bit of a technology overview here of my Polaris General Ride Command edition. I wasn't really going to put this on the 2XP Gaming channel. However, we tend to do a decent amount of tech reviews and overviews and unboxings, and there is a ton of technology packed into this side-by-side I got a couple months ago. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Ride Command features of the 2019 Polaris General UTV. Let's get started. Okay, so let's quick do a little bit of an overview of what the heck this actually is. Because I understand that our regular viewers may not have necessarily looked at something like this before. And then I also understand that we might have folks coming to the channel who aren't familiar with 2XP Gaming and they're more interested in this Ride Command here. So basically, this is a 2019 Polaris General. It is the Ride Command edition, which comes in one color, black pearl. This is a utility side-by-side, a sport utility really if you think about it. It's got a 1000cc engine in this thing. So this thing packs quite a wallop. It has room for two people. It has a bed in the back that can dump, which is really nice for me for my yard work and things along those lines. It's got Fox Podium shocks in here that are adjustable, which is pretty cool. But of course, I'm a nerd. I need to have nerd things when I get something crazy. So when I was in the market for a side-by-side, I wanted something that had some technology in it. Lo and behold, Polaris, of course, has to make something like the Ride Command for, I guess, yuppies like me that want to buy something that has a bunch of technology in a vehicle that is meant to be used in dirt and mud and all this other fun stuff. So enter the Polaris Ride Command. So there's a lot of really cool features in here. We've got Bluetooth connectivity, we've got GPS, we've got a lot of other really neat adjustable things that you may not find on your average side-by-side or four-wheeler for that matter. So what I want to do today is I actually want to show you what is on this Ride Command edition in regards to the technology and do a little bit of a demonstration of it for you. So we hope you like it. We're going to go ahead and change the camera angle here so we can show you what this is all about. Okay everybody, so we are in the vehicle now. I do have the accessory power on. So it's gonna look a little weird right now because I have the camera zoomed in and I have the focus locked so that you can see what's happening on the screen. We're kind of starting off with the Ride Command here. This is the screen that we have after we get through the warning. This is what we see. So we have, let me kind of point out to you here what's going on in this on the screen first off. So Polaris says that this is a glove touch screen, meaning you should be able to touch this with your gloves and things function here. We have some buttons on the bottom. I'm going to explain what those buttons are. So we have gauge button right here, our GPS, our phone, a button to silence whatever's on the screen here, music, and volume up and volume down. Yes, this does have speakers in it. Let me turn up the speakers. Pretty cool, right? I will tell you that the speakers don't really help when you have a 1000cc engine running, so you have to have it blasting at 10 if you want to hear anything. This is kind of nice when you have yard work going around, you just have this thing sitting around and you know, that's about it. But let's go back to this initial instrument cluster screen. So we have a couple things we can see here. We can see our phone is connected and we have one bar of cellular service. We are facing north. We have the outside temperature and the time. It can tell me what my current ride is. So I have currently 8 minutes and 0.6 miles under my current ride. We have a battery gauge here while the engine is off. If the engine were to be on, this would be a fuel gauge. But right now, this is a battery gauge. I'm having 12.3 volts. On the side, we have an engine temperature display from cold to hot. And in the corner here, we have our status for our drivetrain. Are we in turf mode, two-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive? If I click on, or if I tap on this little engine temperature icon here, it will switch over to the battery icon. So while you're driving the vehicle with the engine on, you can choose to either have your voltage or your engine and coolant temperature. We're presented here with an analog style tachometer and speedometer. So speed is in the middle, and then we have a tachometer that will fill up as your RPMs go up and down respectively. However, if I press on this little sync button here or swap button, I now have a digital speedometer and tachometer. Additionally, if I press on this button down here that looks like a little box with 2 arrows, I have the ability to turn on my front or rear cameras. So this Ride Command is equipped with front and rear cameras. They do shut off at a certain speed. Here's my rear camera. Here's my front camera. So that's kind of cool, right? Kind of nice if you need to see what's in front of you. The front brush guard does get in the way though, so I want to call that out. If I press on the Polaris logo, I'm given some setting information. The brightness, I can turn to auto if I'd like, or I can have it fully bright. We're going to keep it fully bright for now. Let me turn that back up. Day, night, auto, we're going to put it into auto mode. So now I have this nice darker screen here, which is kind of nice, but because we're filming, I'm going to keep it on day mode. If I go to notifications, it's going to tell me if I have any notifications that are unread. If I press settings, it's going to give me information about my vehicle. You can see I don't really have many engine hours on this right now. General settings, time settings, audio settings, and vehicle information like oil life, vehicle diagnostics, GPS, what have you. Let's go ahead and go back into the speedometer, tachometer. So now I'm going to press on the GPS or the navigation gauge. This is really neat. So this actually tracks where you ride, and you can see that in red is your current ride, and blue is any previous rides prior to you resetting it. You can see that I do a lot of riding around the house, so I don't get to have too much fun in my residential area. Still waiting to get this out for a trip. If I press on this little button here, it's going to find me. It'll tell me information about my ride time, moving time, stop time, distance, elevation changes. I can delete it. I can put it back on the map, which is kind of neat. I can zoom out, I can zoom in. If I press on more, I can import and export rides, I can add waypoints, and I can view rides and waypoints via the touch screen here. And you can actually see where I've ridden around each time I've had the ignition on and off, which is pretty cool, especially if you like tracking your rides. What's also neat about this is if I have my phone connected, I'll be able to see other riders in my area, which is really cool, especially if you're going with a bunch of friends on a trip. So the GPS feature is one of the things that really drew me to getting the Ride Command, was because I really liked having the ability of, when I'm in an area, a known area with mapped tracks, that I'll be able to see what's going on. So I was really excited about that aspect of the Ride Command feature. The other thing I really liked was it has the ability to connect to your phone. You can do phone calls from here, which I don't really think I would ever do while I'm out four-wheeling unless I have a headset hooked up, an earpiece in my helmet. But I can view my text messages, I can make calls and receive calls, I can view my contacts. Honestly, I don't ever really think I would use this part of the Bluetooth connectivity. However, I will use the audio, especially when I'm working around the house. This has a built-in AM/FM radio, and it has Bluetooth and USB connectivity so that I can plug in my phone, put in a flash drive, listen to AM/FM radio or weather radio if I want. So right now this is the FM radio, and I had it on earlier, but I can navigate around the FM band if I want. If I click on source and I go to AM, I can navigate around the AM band, which is cool. Weather radio is available. We'll turn this up.
Showers after midnight. Humid with lows in the lower 70s. Southwest winds 5 miles an hour in the evening.
Which is kind of nice, especially if you're out and about. You want to know if it's going to start raining or snowing on you. And then we have the USB connectivity and the Bluetooth connectivity. So with USB, if I actually had something plugged in, I could stream audio from a USB drive or my connected device. If I go to Bluetooth, I am streaming right now from my phone. Let's turn it up. A little bit of Tenacious D comedy here. I don't know why that chose to show up, but it's pretty great. I'd leave that play, but we got stuff going on. So I can listen to my songs through here, which is really, really cool. Big fan of that. So if I click on the gear icon here, I have some equalizer settings, fade, balance, radio tuner settings. I can go and pair my devices through the main settings section if I need to. And that's pretty much it from a touchscreen perspective here. All right, everyone. So yeah, that was definitely something different, right? We don't typically do stuff like this on our channel, so we hope you enjoyed it. This quick little overview of the Polaris Ride Command technology features in this Polaris General side-by-side sport utility vehicle. So what do you think? Would you like to see more videos of the Ride Command? Would you like to see more stuff like this? Let me know. Let me know your questions, comments, what have you. We hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, Internet, it's Reclaimer. We'll see you around.